will have to go down because I'm very tall.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
So we have Nishka.
Nishka, that's right.
We have Tyla.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Sinyen.
Is it okay to leave
Hi
our
everyone,
videos?
it's good to see you again.
Hi. We have Joanne.
Hi.
We have Anagarika.
Yes, that's me.
Lisa.
Hi.
Augustinus.
Linda.
Mandy.
Hi.
We have Payali, who's just connecting.
Now we're all cooking.
Nisha.
Hi Nisha.
But who's the cooker main person?
Gosh, there's a lot of familiar faces today. It's awesome.
I wasn't able to buy all the ingredients because of the shortage in Red Mart and Fair Price, but I will look at how you do it, and then once I get the ingredients, I'll make it.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time.
Yeah.
With Alice as well, with Jay.
Hello.
Hello.
Are we supposed to be putting our videos on or off?
Please switch on.
Yeah,
It's a community cooking experience.
Yeah, we want unless if you're shy like me.
Well, a little bit. I'm not looking my best. I'm not looking my best in these days of not going to work.
Oh, I love the cat. The cat's awesome.
So I think many people are calling from different parts. I mean Singapore, and then I know I say some from Bali.
We've got Bali, New Zealand, Shanghai. Someone from the US wanted to join too, but she's very sleepy, so she couldn't make it.
So we want to do a poll. Please feel free to use it and let us know where are you now, which city, where are you now? So that's, after this, I think it's really interesting to see how, despite the social distancing, I think through technology, virtual experience, we can still connect to one another.
We're trying to keep the kitchen spirit alive here.
Yay!
Yay!
Okay, so I think a quick introduction. We're going to start. I think people are still coming in. Wow, we see lots of people. Ooh, many flags. Yes, so I also want to. So my name is Sinyen. I'm from Yoripe. So Yoripe is a cooking app. Personalized. It gives you personalized recipe recommendations by your diets, your lifestyle, even allergies as well, and even the mood of the day. So, our mission is to really promote a healthier and sustainable lifestyle through easy cooking. And we are so excited to partner with Payal from Commune Kitchen. And I remember we first met at OU Social Kitchen through a common friend, and the meeting was 1:30, so I ate. But once I arrived, I saw a beautiful spread of hummus, falafel, tzatziki, and pita bread, like so soft and so beautiful display. Of course, when Payal said, "Do you want to try?" I tried, and immediately I was like, "This is amazing! Like better than any Middle Eastern restaurants I've been." So then Payal has been very generous, sharing her recipes on our platform, on our app. So you're already going, you can find some of her really good recipes, like the lentil salad, and many more. And today, we've talked about doing events together. So with the coronavirus, we thought people are at home more. So instead of physical classes, can we do something digital? And so here we are.
A lot of you know me already, and I'm really glad you're all here. I'm not sure if you were able to find all the ingredients that I sent you. If you have not been able to, it's okay. Just look at the recipe, watch it carefully, and try to get the ingredients in the next few days and practice. because if you don't practice, you're not going to learn. As we go through the recipes, I'll also talk about the ingredients, the really important ones that should not be replaced. But if you can't find them, then yes, of course, you can replace them. But we'll talk about that later. Shall we get started now?
Yes.
Okay, fabulous.
Awesome. So let's start with our first step.
Okay, I need to stand up now. All right. So we've got some rice here now. I asked a lot of you to make rice already. Has anyone done that already? Have you guys made your rice yet?
We have.
Okay, fabulous. I've got 2 cups of rice over here. Now, when I say a cup, I'm talking about a rice cup that usually comes with a rice cooker. And I've taken 2 cups. I've given you the measurement in grams. I think it's about 220 grams. And I'm going to walk over to my sink. I'm going to start by washing it, rinsing it off. And then the first thing I need to do is cook my rice, my fried rice.
Can you hear?
Okay, let's go, Xinyan.
Let me do this.
Okay, so here you see we are at the sink. It's actually rinsing the rice under water.
And this is jasmine rice, but you can pretty much use any rice you want. Just remember to read the instructions on the packaging to make sure how much water you need to add in your rice. Don't ever use overcooked rice for fried rice because it just turns into a mushy mess and you don't want that. In fact, day-old rice from the refrigerator works really well for fried rice. And if you've got day-old rice, by all means use that. In a lot of countries, they eat fried rice in the morning for breakfast. It's mainly to use leftover cooked rice from the fridge from the previous day. And like I said, that's the best way to make use of cooked rice, and also the texture really helps. Okay, here we go, we're done. I've rinsed the rice already. Now, the water looks quite clear right now. Get rid of any extra water.
Yep, actually the color, the water looks a bit whitish because of the starch as well. So it's good to rinse it to remove additional, starch, especially if you want to be careful of our GI intake.
Yeah, and especially when you want to use it for fried rice. Now, I have jasmine rice and it doesn't take up a lot of water. I'm using 1 and another 3/4 of a cup of water because my rice cooker is really good. I have forgotten how to cook rice in a saucepan because I've been using the rice cooker for the past, 25 years now. Yeah, so I'm using less water than it says in the recipe. And than it says on my instructions on the packet of rice. That's because my rice cooker is really good and it traps all the steam in there. Okay, here we go. All the rice is in there already. The water is in there too. And there's nothing you need to add to this. We just put this on quick cooking and it should be ready in about 15 to 20 minutes. And then we'll move on to making our fried rice. Okay.
May I have a question?
Okay. We are going to be prepping now.
Yes.
Okay. I've got chicken here. I'm using chicken thighs for the recipe today, but you can use chicken breast if you want. I like using thighs with Asian cooking, and that's because they're more succulent, it's dark meat, and it retains its juices. And I've got about 450 grams of chicken thighs, and these are without bones and skin. So deboned and deskinned already, right here. And I'll start by chopping them into cubes, and I hope you are doing the same. So cut them into 1/2 inch pieces. Chinyan, can you do a close up here so everyone can see? Yeah. And we're going to chop it all. Now, traditionally, Gong Bao Ji Ding is always done using chicken thighs. And that's what I'm doing. I learned this recipe when I lived in Shanghai. And it's one of the recipes that I've always loved. It's something that I always order when I go to a Chinese restaurant. This and fried rice. And it literally means the palace guard's chicken. And the US has chicken and cashews, which is an adaptation of Kung Pao Chicken. But it misses one of the key ingredients that they have in this beautiful Sichuan dish, and that is Sichuan peppercorns, which is how they differentiate between the two in the US now, that you can get Kung Pao Chicken as well in most Chinese restaurants. They call Sichuan, the chicken that's made with Sichuan peppercorns, Kung Pao Chicken now. And the ones without, they call it chicken and cashews, but it's really the same thing. We've got a really quiet bunch here. Very diligent students listening.
Hi, Payal.
Hi.
This is Aslı.
Who am I talking to?
Aslı, your Turkish.
Oh, Aslı. Hi. Yes.
How are you?
No see.
I know. I'm so happy to have a cooking workshop.
It's been ages, Aslı.
I know. Payal, I have a question. I
Yes.
have the cooked rice from yesterday in the fridge, but
Yeah.
of course, I didn't pay attention how much it was. After it's cooked, how much it should be for the fried rice? How much should I use?
Okay, it usually grows by about 2.5 times when you
So
cook
4
it.
cups?
It should be about 4 to 5 cups, yes, after you've cooked it.
Thank
So-
you very much.
So good enough for, does it look good enough for 4 people?
I think so. It looks
Yes,
enough.
then it's enough. Then it's enough, Aslı.
Thank you.
Okay, so I've got my chicken ready, already chopped up, and I am going to get started by marinating this, okay? Let me wash my hands first, shouldn't take too long. I will be back in a jiffy. Okay. Okay, thank you for being patient. Here we are. Now, amongst the ingredients for marination, we've got cornstarch, also called as corn flour. This is a thickening agent. We've got Shaoxing cooking wine. Now, Shaoxing cooking wine is a rice wine from the region of Shaoxing in China. Don't drink it because it's got very high alcohol content, usually between 18 to 25%, and it's commonly used as a cooking wine. If you like wine with a high alcohol content, then buy Shaoxing wine that is meant for drinking. This is meant for cooking only, by the way. We've got some light soy sauce. Now, light soy sauce is what the Chinese use when they want to add umami to recipes or saltiness to their recipes. Don't use dark soy sauce because dark soy sauce is mainly used for color. If you ever want to use dark soy sauce in your recipes, always remember it's mainly for color and not for saltiness or for umami. All right, I've got a tablespoon right here. I'm going to add a tablespoon of light soy in here. This is a Hong Kong brand called Li Kum Ki. It's very popular all over the world. And again, this is also a very popular brand from China for Shaoxing wine. I'm taking a tablespoon of this as well. This goes into...
Hi,
Hello.
I have a question here.
Yes.
What can we replace the cooking wine with? Because we don't get an open in Middle East.
Okay. You're in Dubai, yes?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. You should be able to get it in the Chinese store. But if you can't, just replace it with white wine, okay?
White wine, okay.
Yeah. Or just completely skip it. If you're Muslim, then completely skip it, okay?
Okay.
Right. I've got cornstarch here. I'm adding 2 teaspoons of cornstarch in here. That's done. And we will give this a good mix.
Payal, how much of the Shaoxing wine did you put in?
1 tablespoon.
Okay.
Is that Tyler?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Tyler, I've sent you the recipe by WhatsApp. It's in there. All the ingredients are measured out.
So we should refer to it separately. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. Are you cooking with me right now, Tyler?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, well then I'll measure out the ingredients and tell you while I'm measuring them out.
I am as well. I just need a moment to open the bottle, please. Sorry.
It's okay, take your time. All right, so I'm going to set this aside for now to marinate while we're doing chopping for the other ingredients, okay? We'll do some prep work while while our chicken is marinating.
It's Anju.
Hi, Anju. It's nice to see you here.
Nice to see you too. I have this Japanese brown vinegar.
Right.
Brown vinegar. Does that substitute okay for what you need?
You mean for black vinegar instead of black vinegar?
Yeah.
Do you have white vinegar at home or rice vinegar? Yes.
I have black. This is brown rice vinegar, the Japanese one. Is that not the same?
Just use any rice vinegar. It'll do for this recipe for now. If you haven't got black vinegar, that's absolutely fine. Just use any vinegar you've got at home, okay?
Okay.
Yeah?
Thank you.
All right. Shall we move on to the next step, guys?
Okay. I'm sorry, I missed something because my son called me. For the wine, if I cannot find it, what can I use for replacement?
Okay, if you can't find it, use white wine.
White wine. Okay, perfect.
Yeah? Okay, all right. Shall we move on to the next part of the recipe, which is chopping? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, fabulous. So I've got some garlic here. I'm going to finish all my chopping.
Excuse me, can I ask for the quantity of the sauce again? I didn't catch it.
Okay, for the chicken, you mean?
Chicken, after chicken. So how do I prepare how much do I need the light soy sauce and the wine and whatever?
Okay, you need a tablespoon of soy sauce, light soy sauce.
How many?
1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon the soy sauce, okay.
Yeah, you need 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine or white wine.
Okay, I have Shaoxing wine.
And 2 teaspoons of cornstarch.
Cornstarch, what is that? Sorry.
Cornstarch or corn flour.
Oh, yeah. How much?
Okay.
How much?
2 teaspoons. Yeah.
2 teaspoons. Okay, yes. Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start chopping, ladies. I've got some ginger here, and I've got some garlic, which I'm going to start chopping and set aside. And this is going to be for Kung Pao Chicken. Now, the easiest way to peel garlic is by using a small spoon. You basically hold it between your fingers, and then you let your index finger guide the spoon and peel it by holding the piece of ginger on top of your thumb, like this. See that? And this way, you end up wasting nothing. You can get into the little grooves as well very easily. See that? Right there.
I see this as a child-friendly activity too.
This is a child-friendly activity as long as your children know how to use a knife.
So if they are super enthusiastic, they want to help in the kitchen, this is an idea.
Yes, absolutely. I always encourage people to bring their kids into the kitchen. It's a skill you must give your kids before they leave. And it's bonding time, isn't it? Kids love it when you give them more responsibility. Here we go. So this is done. I'm just going to get rid of this and move on to peeling the garlic now. I've got my garlic right here. And we're going to peel the garlic by pressing it with the flat part of the knife. That way you can take the peel off easily. Get rid of the root up here. See how easy that is? All right. And we'll start chopping our garlic. Very, very fine. If you want to do this in a garlic press, you totally can. I like chopping. I think chopping is very therapeutic, which is why I always use a knife and a chopping board. I've got lots of machines in my kitchen, but I barely ever use them. It's good to see people working quietly and efficiently. Okay, garlic is done. Let's set it aside into a bowl. Let me do that. Okay, that's done. Let's do my ginger now. I need about a tablespoon of ginger, a tablespoon of garlic, and plenty of chilies. The chilies I've already taken out. I've got these dried chilies that I got from FairPrice Finest. There's a brand, a very popular brand in Singapore called Pasar of dried ingredients that you can find very easily in most supermarkets here, even in local supermarkets.
Payal, this is Astrid again. I couldn't find dried chilies anywhere. They are all out of stock. Can I just use chili flakes at the end?
Did you find Sichuan peppercorns?
Unfortunately not. I mean, that one I forgot, but chili flakes, dried chili, I couldn't find anywhere.
Okay.
So
this is supposed to be a hot dish. It's supposed to be spicy. So yes, use chili flakes for now towards the end. But for next time, when you do this dish, try to find the ingredients. I think they have them on Red Mart as well. But unfortunately, yes, they haven't been delivering either, have they?
Yes, I know. So I have your chili flakes that I bought from you, the very hot ones. So yeah, I can just add 1 teaspoon at the end when I cook it?
If it's very hot, go with half a teaspoon first. Okay. Taste it and see if it's suited for your palate. If you think you want it more spicy, you can add a bit more later, but don't start with 1 teaspoon straight away if you think your chili is already hot.
At what stage should I put the chili flakes?
Do it towards the end because chili flakes are already powdered, aren't they? You don't want to burn them in the beginning because this is a dish that's done in a wok and the heat is very high. The temperature of a wok is very high. So keep the chili flakes towards the end, okay?
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so we've got about...
We have just another question from Payali is where can we get Sichuan peppercorn?
So every supermarket in Singapore, if you go to cold storage or FairPrice Finest, they have a imported spice section where you get your McCormick spices, and then they also have a local spice section where you can get local spices, and that's where you get all sorts of spices that come from China, white peppercorns, fennel seeds, cumin seeds, Sichuan peppercorns even. So go to the local section for spices, okay? All right, moving on. We've got our dried chili peppers right here. I'm gonna start by snipping them into smaller pieces. These are quite long. I'm just going to snip them into smaller pieces because that's what we're going to be adding later on. They don't have a lot of seeds in them, which means that they are not exactly very hot.
How many pieces do you need, Kyle?
You need about 12 pieces.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. If yours are long like mine, cut them into smaller pieces. If they are short, then just cut them in half. Okay. Short chilies are usually hotter than long chilies, and when you buy the packet of Pasar dried red chilies in the supermarket, you can't really tell if they're small or the long ones. you just go with it. Most of the time they're medium spicy, they're really not that hot. And anyway, the essence of this dish comes from Sichuan peppercorns, which I'll show you in a minute. All right, so these are all short enough. And
Excuse me. I have a small question. Because I got a bit late, I'm still cutting the chicken. But I have an assistant, so no worries. My question is, should I take out the skin of the?
Yes.
Oh, no skin.
Yeah, no skin, no bones.
Okay.
The chicken is deboned, deskinned, 450 grams after you've deboned and deskinned it.
Okay, got it.
All right. Okay, I shouldn't be putting this back in my drawer for now. Leave it out. Okay, that's done. Moving on, we are going to chop some onion. Now the onion is for my fried rice recipe, but I'm going to finish it off because once we're done with all the chopping, the cooking part is really easy. Okay. You need a medium onion. You can use red onion, white onion, whatever you've got in your pantry.
So another day I was at a coffee shop and I saw this auntie. She was all equipped, wearing a mask and a pair of sunglasses, and then she took out a bag of onion.
My eyes are immune to onions now. I don't tear up anymore with onions, but for many years I had the same Chinese helper when we lived in Shanghai, and she actually bought goggles from Taobao.
Okay.
So she could chop onions for me. And I used to work in the food industry in China, and we often, with all the helpers that we had in the kitchen, if I told them to chop onions for me, they'd get their goggles out because they knew I was Indian and I always use a lot of onions when I cook. Okay, so that's my medium onion.
Yeah, interesting that we add onions to the fried rice.
You can add ginger as well. Some people like adding garlic. So if you ever eat fried rice in Indonesia, in Thailand, they use a lot of garlic in their fried rice. In China, it's either ginger or onions. I see. Okay. So really you can pick and choose. I like adding both sometimes, but today I'm just adding onions in here. Okay. And if you want to add shrimp to this recipe, it's beautiful. Shrimp or any meat for that matter. So you start with your meat first, stir fry your meat in some oil, set it aside, and then you move on to your eggs and your onions and follow the recipe as it is. Now, I have given you the recipe for Kung Pao Chicken on the WhatsApp group, and I've also given you the recipe for egg fried rice on the WhatsApp group. The Kung Pao Chicken recipe, it's also suitable for Kung Pao shrimp, and I've given you, oh look, Xinyang is tearing up, she's crying. Yeah, try the chicken today, and at a later date, try doing the shrimp as well, now that you have all the ingredients ready with you. And let me know, tag us, and let us know how it turns out. Because this recipe is fabulous with the tiger shrimp as well.
Yes. So we actually will be giving out a certificate of this class. Okay. So because we're so proud of you that you're joining us. And so please send us your masterpiece or whatever you cook today, right? That you put together with your family members. And then we will put it into a certificate, which is personalized for each of you.
Okay, so moving on. Let's clean up a little. Xinyang is still crying. It'll get better, don't worry. Okay. All right, so that's done. We've prepped most of the ingredients here. I'm just going to take this out now, and we've got some leeks here. The leeks, I've got one leek here, and the leek is for Kung Pao Chicken. Xinyang cannot see anymore. She's gone blind. I'm sorry.
I'm still holding the camera, so.
Can you see where the camera is pointing to?
Yes, yes.
Yes, are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to chop some spring onion, and we're going to chop some leeks. The leeks are for the Kung Pao Chicken.
I'm really, really impressed with Payal's immunity. Yeah.
You know, onions are really good for you. They make you immune to everything.
Yes.
They're great during flu. They're great for stomach flu as well.
Yes.
My mother, I remember when, not my mom, I've heard grannies, say this to me many a times when you're sick, when you have digestive problems, or if you've got tummy ache, the best drink to have is onion juice.
Oh, wow.
I've never tried it because onions stink, but that's what they say. All right, so we're going to chop the leek up into 1/2 inch pieces. And if you don't have a leek, you can also use onion, a large onion in this recipe. That would work too. But I love the flavor of leeks in this dish. In the US, where they have Kung Pao, not Kung Pao chicken, but chicken with cashews, they often replace the leeks with peppers and with onions. They don't have any Sichuan peppercorns in the dish, like I said. Okay, so I'm just going to use the white part and not the green part. I'm going to get rid of the green part. Here we go. My leeks are ready on the side, and time to chop some spring onion. Now this will be used for both our recipes today. We've got to use it in our fried rice recipe, and we've got to use it in our Kung Pao Chicken recipe.
So you couldn't buy the large leek because I understand my differences.
I couldn't quite hear that.
Can I use the spring one to replace the large one?
So is that all right? It's a larger.
Okay, that's a spring onion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that will do. Just use the green part mostly. If you've got leeks as well, right?
Well, I thought leek is this.
Okay, so you've got a big spring onion and you've got a small spring onion. That's what you've done. What you can do now is use the bulb of the large spring onion instead of leek and add maybe 1/2 an onion on the side. And then you can use the smaller spring onion for garnish. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay, yes, okay. Thank you.
Okay, fabulous. All right, my onions are ready. And let's put them in another bowl over here. That is a lot of spring onion. All right.
So maybe we recap on all the ingredients that we have chopped so far, and then let's see how is everyone doing.
Okay, so we've got chopped onion, chopped garlic, about a tablespoon. We've got chopped ginger, about a tablespoon. We've got 1 chopped leek. We've got lots of spring onion for both recipes. We are ready with our marinated chicken.
No skin, no bones.
Yep. And we have our peppers, or red chili peppers right here, already chopped up. Okay. We're going to move on to actually cooking now. Our fried rice will be done later on. We'll do the fried rice towards the end because our rice isn't quite ready yet. We've got rice cooking right here. It'll take another 10-15 minutes, I think. In the meantime, we'll get started with our Kung Pao Chicken recipe.
Okay.
Are you all ready?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to the stovetop now, over here on this side. So just go. Yeah, before you move the camera, Shinyang, I also want to show everyone how to do the sauce for Kung Pao Chicken. We're going to get ready with the stir fry sauce now, so we don't have to rush later on. Okay. I usually eyeball a lot of stuff when I'm cooking at home, but here, because I'm giving you a proper recipe to follow, it's important that I give you everything by the teaspoon. Okay, so we're going to get started with some cornstarch on the cornstarch first and make a slurry with it in a little bowl. I've got a tablespoon of cornstarch here, and to this I'm adding 2 tablespoons of water. Okay, there we go. 1 and 2. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of water. I'm gonna grab a spoon, give it a good mix, and keep this ready. Towards the end, when we use this, the cornstarch is going to settle at the bottom. But that's okay, we'll mix it again later on when we want to add this. This is going to be our thickening agent for the sauce today. I'll set this aside for now, and we'll move on to making the sauce now. For the sauce, I need 2 tablespoons of Qingqiang black vinegar. If you can't find black vinegar, you can use white vinegar, or you can use any vinegar really that you've got at home. Rice vinegar will also work. I see Xinyang smiling for some reason. What is it? Did I say it wrong?
No, I mean, this is what you say is the English, right? The pinyin pronunciation.
Yeah.
In the Chinese pronunciation of the Chinese characters is actually 镇江. 镇江黑醋.
Oh gosh, my Chinese sucks, doesn't it? No. Yes, it does actually. I say it proudly. I lived in China for 5 years, and all I could speak was food Chinese, and I was very proud of it. You just burst my bubble there.
Oops. We have to go back after all this is over. We'll do, yeah.
Okay, we've got my Shaoxing wine. Did I say that right?
This is Hua Diao.
Hua Diao. Shaoxing.
Shaoxing, yes. Shaoxing,
Shaoxing.
exactly, yeah.
Shaoxing wine.
Shaoxing.
Because it comes from Shaoxing.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine. And if you can't find Shaoxing wine, or if you're Muslim, just skip it. You can also use white wine instead of Shaoxing wine if you can't find it in your country.
Oh, yeah.
I've got some light soy sauce again, Li Kam Ki.
Do we have a question?
No.
No?
Payal?
Okay. Yes.
Sorry, can I ask, is this going with the cornstarch?
No, this is going in another bowl. I've already set the cornstarch aside.
Okay, thank you.
Have you mixed it already?
No.
Okay. You've got light soy sauce. I'm taking 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce.
Okay.
Can I
With
share a
the-
secret? 2. Yes, share a secret.
Do we have anyone on the line who wanted to ask something?
Payal, how much of the rice vinegar did you put in?
2 tablespoons of rice vinegar.
Okay.
2 tablespoons of light soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of the wine so far.
Yeah, we
2
got it.
to 1.
Okay. And this here is oyster sauce. Now I have the vegetarian one at home, so I'm just going to use vegetarian oyster sauce. You use what you've got at home. 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, which is not traditional, but I like to add it because it gives it a nice sweetness. What was your secret, Xinyang?
So I always thought tablespoon is the spoon that we use when we eat.
Well, originally, yes, but you see, just like a foot, originally it was the king's foot, and everybody has feet of different sizes. We decided to make a foot 12 inches in the same way. Tablespoons and teaspoons evolved. So a tablespoon is actually 15 ml.
Okay.
And a teaspoon is 5 ml. Unless if you're in Australia, where a tablespoon is 20 ml,
Oh, wow.
which is just weird.
It's upsized. More generous.
Yes, more generous. I've got some salt here. I'm taking half a teaspoon of salt in there for umami. And I have some sugar in there too, actually. I've got to add a tablespoon of sugar. If you're trying to avoid sugar, add a sweetener, or you could add honey. Okay, so a tablespoon, my heart-shaped tablespoon of sugar. This will give my chicken the caramelized effect that I want. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ingredients in there already. And the last one, the 7th ingredient, is 4 tablespoons of chicken stock, which I have sitting in my fridge. Right
I
here.
have the cubes. So how much water should I put in this?
Okay.
Those
What does
Maggi
it say on
cubes.
your packet? If you've got a cube, does it say the cube is enough for 500 ml of water? What does it say?
Yeah, so 1 cube for 500
ml. So just take a pinch of the cube. That's all you need. Just take a small pinch of the cube, add 4 tablespoons of hot water to it, and you've got it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to add my chicken stock in there.
Sorry to interrupt. So
Yes.
it's 4 tablespoons of chicken stock,
Yes.
chicken soup. Okay, thank you.
All right. I'll repeat one more time. I have got 4 tablespoons of chicken stock, 2 tablespoons of black vinegar, 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine, 2 tablespoons of my oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of my light soy sauce, a tablespoon of sugar or any sweetener of your choice, and half a teaspoon of salt. That's all. Yeah. And this is going to be my stir fry sauce. Okay, if everyone's ready, we can move on to cooking now. All right. Okay. Okay, already? I'm very tall, so you can't see my head, which is okay by me. Is it okay by you? You can either see the wok or my head, whatever you prefer. All right, so I've got a pretty good Chinese wok here that I got from Chinatown, which I'm sure everybody has in their own city. We've got people joining us from all over the world today, except the US. And I just wanted to show you this. This cost me 20 Sing dollars, which is next to nothing, but it's awesome. I make a lot of things in it. I do all my Chinese cooking, all my Thai cooking in here, and it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous cast iron wok. Shall we get started?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to do this on high heat, and that's what you should do as well. Whenever you do wok cooking, it's quick, and it's done on very high heat. And keep your exhaust going. I'm not going to switch it on because it's going to get really noisy here. I'll leave it off for now, but if you're doing this at home, turn on your exhaust because it is going to get smoky in here. All right, so the first thing you need to do is get your wok. If you don't have an iron wok, just use a big saucepan or a big frying pan would also do. The first thing you need to do is make it hot, okay? Don't add your oil first. Heat up your wok first and then add your oil. This is very important, and I say this to all my customers when I'm teaching at my cooking school. Always remember to make your wok hot first, otherwise you end up disintegrating the oil when you add your oil in the very beginning. Okay, so make it hot. See, that's smoking already. Now is the time to add oil. And I'll get olive oil here. And that's what I'm using. You can use coconut oil, vegetable oil, really any oil you've got at home. It's going to get very smoky in here with the window closed. All right, so we're going to start by adding about 4 tablespoons of oil in here. And we'll start by frying the chicken first. Die from smoke in here, Sinyang. All right.
That's an excellent idea.
Okay, set it out. My heat is still on high. And I'm going to start stir frying now. Now, traditionally, when they use Chinese food in restaurants, the burner is way higher than this. This is, home burner, but when they do this in a restaurant, the
burner is of course way higher than this. The heat is 3-4 times more than this. So the cooking process is actually very, very fast. This is done within minutes. So a Kung Pao chicken, for instance, would be ready within 3 to 4 minutes. Ours will be ready in about 10. It's important to keep the heat high at this point so your chicken doesn't get watery. And we are trying to cook the chicken here. It should take about 3 to 4 minutes if your pieces are about the size of mine, about 1/2 inch to 1 inch in thickness. This is almost done. Is everyone cooking in their kitchen right now?
Not,
some people cooking in there.
not everyone.
I see quite a few are cooking in your kitchen. So that's good. Now, your chicken is no longer cooked, and you've given it a good 3 to 4 minutes of cooking time. It's time to pull it out. But you don't want it to overcook. All right.
I'm still cooking.
Does someone have a question?
Dinner, chat. Wait. One more dinner. Wait.
Kyle, my chicken is releasing quite a bit of water. Should I cook it through until the water kicks off, or just remove the water?
Just take it out in a plate once it's done cooking, or increase the heat to high first and see if the water evaporates. Was your chicken cold when you put it in the pan?
No.
It was at room temperature?
Yes.
And your pan was
I think my pan just doesn't take the heat enough, so it tends to release water.
Yeah, that's okay. Just cook it a little bit more. Keep the heat on high.
And then we remove all the chicken from the pan.
Pull it out once it's cooked.
Okay, thanks.
All right, mine is cooked, so I'm gonna pull mine out.
I'm cooking. Wait.
There we go. All right, so that's done. The next part of the recipe is to cook the chilies first. All right, so I've got some more oil here. Taking about a tablespoon of oil again. Add oil only if necessary. If you think you don't need to add any oil, if your wok still has quite a lot of oil in there, just use that. Mine doesn't, so I'm going to put a little bit more and start with my Sichuan peppercorns first. So these are Sichuan peppercorns, and in the recipe that I've sent you, I have given you the option of adding between a teaspoon to a tablespoon, depending on how hot you want this to be. Okay, I'm adding 2 teaspoons because I like it hot but not too hot. So we're going now, and it's about to get really hot in here. We're going to start cooking soon. I've got my chilies; they go in as well.
So we have just added 2 teaspoons of Sichuan peppercorns and then the cut chili into the wok. Sorry about the noise because I think a lot of wok and frying going on. So I'm just repeating what Payal just said. So add oil and 2 teaspoons of peppercorn and then the cut chili, the dried chili.
Can you smell them now?
I can.
Yes, very nice. And then nice and aromatic, you're going to start adding your garlic, your tablespoon of garlic, your tablespoon of ginger.
I think we keep the flame low, and then garlic, ginger into the wok.
And my leeks go. Ah. Sorry, this is just fumes from the chili. I am not sick, I promise.
Sorry,
Excuse me. How much peppercorn?
Yeah, so we can repeat. So we put in leek, ginger, and garlic.
Ginger and garlic.
Leek, ginger, garlic, peppercorn, and chili. 5 items in the wok, and it's very smoky.
Sorry, we put the leek in now as well?
Yes, so you start with the chilies, both the chilies that you have. Add garlic, ginger, and the leeks now.
Okay.
Oh, so chili first. And
just cook them for about a minute or so.
How much Sichuan peppercorn do we need?
2 teaspoons. Start with the chilies and the peppercorns first. I've added 2 teaspoons, but if you want it less spicy, use 1 teaspoon. If you want it more hot, use a tablespoon. Does that make sense? Okay, we're gonna get ready to add our chicken now that we've already cooked. My chicken's right here. I need to add the chicken so I can stop coughing. Keep the heat on high again. Now this is to get all those flavors from the chili and the leeks into the chicken. And if you've got water from the chicken, just like Tyla did, this is a good time to increase the flame and reduce the water content. So this is good enough to eat, if you ask me. Okay. Now my chicken looks cooked, and I am going to add my sauce that I have.
It smells so good.
Here's my sauce. Just give it a good mix, just to make sure your sugar is properly mixed in there. Put that in. All of it. Give it a good stir. Let the sauce coat the chicken all over. And the cornstarch that you have prepared. Get that out as well now.
Are we supposed to have done
popping away.
Are we supposed to have done the nut?
Like I said earlier, it will settle at the bottom. And I'm just going to give it a quick mix. And we're going to pour this in. Quick mix. Turn the heat off. And finish it off with some spring onion. There was one more step that I had to do, which I completely skipped. And that is frying my nuts prior to frying anything else, which I'll do in another wok, and I'll throw it in now. It's okay. All right, I've got a wok right here. Heat up the wok. Is everyone on task, the people who are cooking?
Sorry, Payal, what are you doing now? What are you frying?
Okay, I've got a wok right here. I'm going to put some oil in there, about 2 tablespoons of oil or so. And I'm going to fry some peanuts, either raw peanuts or raw cashews, whatever you've got.
I was able to find raw peanuts, again, in the Pasar brand section of their price. Once your oil is hot, reduce the heat because nuts burn very quickly on the stove top.
So we are going to fry the peanuts now.
Which I should have done in the beginning, sorry. This is how you check if your oil is hot enough. See the bubbles along the edge of that spoon? That means my oil is hot enough. I'm just going to reduce the heat now. Take about half a cup of peanuts or cashews, whatever you've got at home. Now, a lot of people ask me if they can use roasted peanuts or cashews, roasted cashews in this recipe. You can, but it doesn't do justice, okay, to this recipe. So try to do the peanuts, to fry the peanuts fresh or your cashews fresh, and then add them to the recipe. Makes a world of a difference.
Yes, especially in Singapore, it's so humid. It's really nice to fry the peanuts from scratch. Yes.
About 2 minutes up.
Okay, we're just waiting for them to brown a little, and then we can pull them out and mix them with our Kung Pao chicken.
When I first saw the recipes, I thought it was really difficult because first of all, the dish itself, Gong Bao Chicken, like even for Chinese at home, my parents will never cook them. I only order at the restaurant. But I think so far I think it's very manageable. And yeah, a lot of, I mean, as a Chinese, I do actually have most of the pantry ingredients at home, like the dried chili, the peanuts, the oyster sauce. Yeah, the vinegar. I think I only need to buy maybe just really the garlic, like the spring onions, the fresh. Yeah.
Do you also have Sichuan peppercorns at home?
No,
okay.
That one, yes.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's another ingredient that the Chinese don't prefer keeping at home.
Mm.
What part of China? You said you're Shanghainese, Shen-Yang, yes?
Yes.
Do you make Shanghainese cuisine at home?
Sometimes I do, and like you say, the difference between the two soy sauce, the light and the dark. So for Shanghainese, we love the dark soy sauce because it's kind of sweet, and we love to add a lot of like rock sugar in it because for Shanghainese cuisine, there are two rules. One, it must look dark, so we definitely add dark soy sauce. Number two, it must be shiny, and the shiny part comes from the sugar.
Right, caramelization.
Exactly.
Okay, so my peanuts are done. See, nice and brown. And I am just going to transfer them all into my wok over here. And this is the part that you always do in the end. You can finish frying the peanuts first in the same wok if you're trying to do this, you know, make this a one-pan dish. Okay, got everything in there. All right, and my Kung Pao chicken is ready. And if you want more sauce, you know, you don't have to reduce the sauce all the way. You can actually keep a little bit of sauce in there. When I do this at home, I generally tend to keep a little bit more sauce for me at home.
Excuse me.
I don't boil it down so much, but this is how it's traditionally served. So the sauce basically coats the entire dish.
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah, like the ratio is really good.
I'm gonna pull this out. Okay, we hear someone else coughing as well. The other person in our team, Gabrielle, is sitting on the technical side and she's coughing. So,
The medium-sized onion.
okay. Now this has to be eaten hot, so I'm gonna get Shin Yang to try it. You see?
Oh wow! Okay.
If I try this and say this is really good, that won't be right.
Okay, I'm going to take this time to answer a few questions as well.
Okay, some right there.
Okay, so now we are ready to take questions.
What do we do with the onion?
No questions?
Excuse me. when
Yes.
do we add the medium-sized onion?
The onions or the leeks? Did you not have leeks? So we were supposed to add the onions. If you were supposed to add the onions instead of the leeks, you should have added them with the ginger and the garlic in the beginning. If you're asking me about the onion that we chopped up finely in the beginning,
The
that's for the
medium-sized.
fried rice recipe.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Okay. Is everyone on task for the Kung Pao Chicken?
And, I have another question. In the beginning, we had this with corn powder, whatever, and Shaoxing wine, and did we use it or later?
Shaoxing wine. We made a sauce out of it. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, we added the sauce already. So I stir-fried my chicken, and then I followed with the sauce. I stirred it really well, and once the sauce started to bubble, I finished it off with my cornstarch.
The cornstarch is to they mix the sauce together with the cornstarch.
Oh, you mixed the sauce together with your cornstarch, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, has it become very thick?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, it's just a tablespoon of the cornstarch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, add a little bit more water to it and see if you can liquefy it.
It's okay, I can just take another spoon.
Yeah, sure. And you have the sauce. What about the sauce? Have you made the sauce again? Is that what you've done?
Yeah, I have the light soy sauce and
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Why don't we do that very quickly, shall we? Oh, see, someone's already got it on the table. Nice. Okay, so you take 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine.
Yeah. And 2 of the light soy sauce.
2 light soy sauce. 2 black vinegar.
2 black vinegar. Is it for the sauce? The sauce I did.
Did you pour that in the sauce already?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
I did.
Okay, so what were you asking me? What was your question?
No, in the beginning of the class, you are making you are using this corn powder and and the light soy sauce and the Shaoxing wine to mix up, or I don't know how to prepare.
No. The cornstarch. So the cornstarch was 1 tablespoon mixed with 2 tablespoons of water. Just 2 tablespoons of water. That was the slurry, okay? That we used to thicken the sauce. The sauce that we made was separate. The sauce had 2 tablespoons of soy, 2 tablespoons of vinegar, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine. Yes?
Okay. Yes.
Did you add that already?
Yes. Yeah. So what do we do with this? That's
so it's
question.
okay if the chicken is it a lot of liquid because the corn powder is just to go qian. It's so just to take 2.
So okay, go qian. Then I understand.
Yes, go qian. Okay, all right. Okay, we are going to move on and make the fried rice. But before that, I want Xinyang to try this.
Oh,
okay, while it's still hot.
I'm the happiest person.
Okay, there.
Okay, so I'm tasting. I'm jealous. Let's taste together. How is it? Okay, I'm
gonna try a little bit. Hot, spicy?
Just nice. I like it.
It's not overpowering.
No.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's so good. I need a bowl of rice and I'm like, bye.
Now, if you've never had Kung Pao chicken before, guys, don't eat the chilies, okay? Or you're going to be in the washroom all night. Don't eat the chilies, eat just the chicken and the leeks, all right? And the nuts. I'm going to set this aside and we're going to move on to making the fried rice now, okay?
How are your Gong Bao chicken? How do you find it? Good. I see some thumbs up.
It's very good. Thank you.
Good. Good.
Okay.
Okay, are we ready to make the next dish?
Yes.
Okay, is everyone ready to make fried rice? I have my rice done right here, and I'm just going to separate this. Now, usually I wait for it to cool down a bit, but today I don't have a choice but to just mix it very quickly so it cools down a little bit. And my rice is perfectly done. It's not overcooked because I made sure I did not add too much water to it.
Yeah, the rice is really good. Yep. And basmati rice, jasmine.
This is jasmine rice. Yeah. I like using jasmine rice because it's not as overpowering as basmati rice. I don't like using basmati rice with fried rice recipes, no. Here we go, but you can use any rice you've got at home. That's fine, that works. All right, we're gonna move on and make our fried rice now. Okay, I'm gonna use this wok over here. Let me just give it a quick wipe. Now this is really the best way to clean a non-stick wok. This is a non-stick wok, and the best way to clean it is using a soft sponge, or you can wipe it off with a tissue. If you go to Chinese restaurants, they often use a broom, a wooden broom.
Absolutely,
but
yeah.
They use a proper iron wok. Yeah, this is not an iron wok. The other one that I showed you, is an iron wok, but I don't have a broom at home, so I just clean it the normal way. But here, I'm just wiping this off
because we're not a restaurant yet.
Yes, yes. I'm just wiping this off using a piece of tissue, and we will move on to making the rice now.
Everyone ready?
Yes, ready.
Okay,
awesome.
All right. We've got our rice right here. I've got my wok ready. Now, since I'm making egg fried rice today, I'm only going to be using 3 eggs in my recipe. Right here, I've got 3 large eggs. But if you want to make shrimp fried rice, what you do is fry your shrimp first, take them out, and then fry your eggs later. If you want, I can send you the recipe for shrimp fried rice later on at the end of the class, and then you can try that at home and let me know how it turns out, all right? Okay, let's start with the eggs. 1, 2, 3. As you can see, my wok has started to smoke. Once it starts to smoke, you start by adding a tablespoon and a half of oil. Any oil of your choice would do. Then you add your eggs. I've got a shell in there. I'm going to pull that out.
This is for professional only.
No, they can do that too. We have been doing this for years. You can scramble the egg. Now this is not Gordon Ramsay's, slow. So quick scramble before mincing the egg completely and drying it out. And it's done. We'll reduce the heat and take this off the heat now. And if you like lots and lots of eggs in your fried rice, by all means, add more than 3, not a problem. Eggs are done. And if you want to use protein in this recipe, you should have done so. You should have fried your protein, either chicken strips or shrimp, before you did the eggs, and then basically set them aside. Next, we're going to start with our onion. Again, I'm taking about 1.5 tablespoons of oil. Any oil of your choice would do. And I've got my onion right here. Goes in, and I'm going to fry my onion for a couple of minutes, just so it softens a bit. The idea here is to soften the onion until it's translucent and not brown it.
Wow, they're so well chopped.
I have my rice ready to go in. And apart from that, I need a few other ingredients. I want to get my white pepper ready. I want to get my sesame oil, toasted sesame oil ready to go in as well. You need a pinch of salt, like a quarter teaspoon of salt and a quarter teaspoon of sugar in this recipe. And this is for umami. You also need a tablespoon of light soy sauce in the recipe. My onion looks translucent now. Like I said, I want to put this in before it browns. This is hot. Rice goes in. Heat is still on high. Give it a good mix, and then you can start adding the other ingredients.
Sorry, the onion is fried with eggs?
Yes, so stir fry the eggs, get the eggs out, and then stir fry the onion.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, get it out then.
Give your rice a good mix. And now you can start adding your other ingredients. I have got my white pepper right here. I like white pepper, so I'm quite generous with it. But you add a light sprinkle, and that would do. A good sprinkle of white pepper. This is very slow, the bottle as well. So there we go. Good sprinkle of white pepper in there. A sprinkle of about a quarter teaspoon of salt. A quarter teaspoon of sugar. A tablespoon of soy. And a teaspoon of sesame oil. You give it all a mix. Your rice is going to start charring a little bit at the bottom, and that's okay. Can you smell sesame oil in there? Yang?
How much sesame oil, sorry?
Yes. So, yes, how much sesame oil is the question?
Teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil.
Okay, and how
1
much
tablespoon of soy?
How much soy?
1 tablespoon of soy. And 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. A sprinkle of white pepper. And a quarter teaspoon of salt, a quarter teaspoon of sugar. All right.
Yeah. Oh, sometimes at home I will just do a pinch.
Yep, that's fine. All right, I'm gonna add my scrambled eggs in there now. All of it. And my spring onion that I have.
Oh yes, spring onion is so important.
Yeah, in a good fried rice, spring onion is very important. A good amount of spring onion. It's going to give it color as well as flavor. Give it a good mix. Make sure your egg is finely minced. And now the final and the most important step to get restaurant quality fried rice. All right. Is everyone up to this step already or not yet?
I can see most of them are doing really well.
Okay.
Wait, oh, not me.
Not yet.
Not dishing out yet.
Not dishing out yet.
Put it all. Now put your heat on very high now at this point. My flame is on very high.
High heat.
Okay, and bring all your fried rice once you mixed it in the middle, right in the middle. So just pile it on high in the middle. And now we're going to get our Shaoxing wine, about a tablespoon of Shaoxing wine. 花雕酒孝信 wine. 孝信酒.
Perfect.
A tablespoon.
Okay, just the cap. Yeah.
I'm just using the
I do that too all the time.
What's about a tablespoon? And we are going to give our fried rice what they call wok hei, or the breath of the wok.
Ooh.
Okay? This is not going to go up in flames like it does in a Chinese restaurant because the heat isn't high enough, but you will get the flavor in it. You pour this along the periphery of your wok, and then you give it a good mix.
Okay, so those of you who got the rice in, right? The next step is to add the spring onion and the eggs, and then stir fry them until you feel like the rice is ready. Then you turn up the heat, pour the rice in the middle, and then add a tablespoon of Shaoxing Hua Diao Jiu to get a wok hei, a restaurant grade fried rice. This is really something great. So I learned today. I can't wait to try it at home.
This is something that they always do in Chinese restaurants, and that's why it tastes so good. And another thing they always do in restaurants is add a pinch of MSG in fried rice. There's always MSG in fried rice, which I don't do at home. But trust me, when you go to a Chinese restaurant and if you know that it tastes really, really good, it's got MSG in it. All right, I'm going to dish this out now. This is ready. I've turned the heat off already, but you still hear a lot of sizzling in there, and that's because the wok is very, very hot. And that's the beauty of cooking Chinese food in a wok. You want the temperature to be hot, so your food cooks fast and evenly. Okay, that's my rice done, and my chicken is already on the table.
We can take questions, so feel free.
All right, let's take this up to the table and then we can take questions. All right.
So today, with Payal from the Commune Kitchen, we have made the Kung Pao Chicken and the egg fried rice. Wow, don't they look exactly the same as the pictures in the Facebook event? Okay, so I think we are almost ready. So let's just take a couple of final questions. Wow, it's already 7:20. So I think we've worked hard for our two lovely dishes.
And we're hungry.
So before we skip to the dining table, just want to see how's everyone doing. Can we see your
final dishes?
Yeah, final dishes. Ooh, wow! We see from guest home.
That's amazing. Who is that?
It's Rachel.
Oh, hi, Rachel.
Yes,
Well
good.
done, you.
Did you enjoy that?
Who else has got it on the table already?
Lisa.
Oh wow, Risa, really
Risa,
nice.
awesome, Risa. Well
I
done.
see the greens.
Have you tried it yet, Risa?
Not yet. I will now.
Okay, fab.
I see Augustinus is still frying the rice.
Yep.
I see two pans working very hard. Ooh, zoom in shot. I like that.
Nice.
This is mine.
Fab, Asle. Well done, you.
This is mine.
I'm glad you could finally join me. It's been like 2 years since I last saw you at a class.
Mine is still in the pan, but it looks no good. The chicken turned out really nice. My husband's really happy.
Okay. What happened with the fried rice? Let's see.
He ran away. Sorry, I think I muted now.
Camera shy.
So,
But that's all right. I think you guys did really well and you followed the instructions really well. I'm really sorry if I went a bit too fast for you. I'll keep that in mind next time. I'll try to go a little slower than I did today.
Yeah, so we will be, feel free to send us any feedback. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
And the next Wednesday, so we were just discussing, what should we teach for the next class?
Yeah, and I wanted to make use of the bottles of, sauces that you bought already, the oyster sauce and, the soy sauce and some of the ingredients that you already have in the kitchen. So we're going to make use of those again next Wednesday. And we will be cooking a recipe called pad siu. Pad siu is Thailand's version of kway teow, Malaysian kway teow, but it's way tastier. So it's a rice noodle dish that's made with prawns and kailan. It's got a beautiful chariness to it at the bottom. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous noodle dish. If you do want to join us next Wednesday, we'll be over here at the same time, 6 to 7 p.m. All right? So we hope to see you then. Thank you for joining us today, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
Bye.
So remember to send us your picture, your dish. Take pictures, send us so you get a certificate.
Yep. All right then. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.